kind of go over, just ground some of, the value that you got from the course, and just see what this experience was like for you. And then, learn a little bit about how maybe doing this work or doing the course contributed to you having the relationship that you're in right now, if it did.
It did. It gave me some real expectations about what the dating world is like, and what to expect, how to navigate it. I can take lots of courses and read lots of books on what to be like when you get in a relationship, when you run into problems, but getting into the relationship is crucial, and navigating that world. And that's really what I was looking for, is how to do that. Realistic expectations, what it's like. And I have, Lisa, the thing that and I have this piece of paper because I have this on my closet wall, and it's my final 5 exercise. And it's the part 2 and part 2, part 3, part 4, and part 5. And I read this almost every day. And the part that I read every day on a regular basis is part 5. And it just says, in order to attract a partner who's honest and not secretive, I need to be fully open and authentic. In order to attract a partner who is emotionally accessible, I need to be more comfortable with my own vulnerability. In order to attract a partner who isn't critical and judgmental, I need to be more accepting of myself and my own emotions. In order to attract a partner who is thoughtful and takes responsibility for his actions, I need to get comfortable with setting boundaries and taking responsibility for myself. And then in order to attract a partner who's secure and knows himself, I need to own my needs and get more comfortable with advocating for myself. And I read that every day, what I need to be doing. And I ask myself, am I doing this? And that's the key. And that was my big aha, being able to drill down from this course, is, am I being the person that I need to be in that relationship?
Yeah. And I think so few people not only do that, but, they don't even have that roadmap for how to really get to that place. That 3rd week is so crucial. And I created that. I mean, I'm not saying people don't have relationship inventories, and, but I really did put that whole orchestration together,
Yeah.
for people.
Yeah, and I like the part of, who do I need to be?
Yeah. Yep. Because everybody will take you up to, what do you want? But,
Yeah.
It's that extra, like, what do you have to give up, or what do you have to, do in order to attract that? Because if you're not a fertile ground, a space for that to happen, you can sit around and want that stuff from now until forever.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think the other biggest thing I've learned too is that I think a lot of us go into this thinking, I keep attracting emotionally unavailable people, but we're emotionally unavailable.
Yeah.
As I sit here, I'm reminded of how grateful I am for what I've gained over the last 4 months. I mean, this has been my number one priority, is being able to be in that type of relationship. And that's what I've always wanted. And it just took me such a long time to realize that I had to become that person.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy? It's so ridiculous when you finally get it, how like the degree to the truth of what you just said, and the degree, like, you can't have it until you are that person.
Yeah. And until you are that person. And I finally this has been just such a healing thing, is my last relationship, I've really been able to come to a healing terms with, and own my part of it and how I showed up, and let that go. And I don't have any bad feelings or resentment towards that relationship anymore, which is, to me, is just astounding in such a short time. Because, well, it's been not a short time, but just how easy I've been able to kind of let that stuff go, and see myself
And see your part.
and completely see my part. Yeah,
And once you own your part, that's freedom. Like,
it is freedom. And then it's also freedom too, to just realize that, we're really just a world of walking wounded.
can I share
And
somebody said in the program once to me, she said, dating just feels like hurt people hurting people.
And I think that is because we're all just wounded people trying to navigate walking with our wounds. And once I can accept that too, I can truly accept that, then I can let those old relationships go and just realize that they're just wounded people doing the best they can with what they have.
Yep. And I think you may have answered this in some part, but how do you think that this program helped set you up for the relationship that you stepped into?
I think it gave me some, I think it really helped me key into how I show up when I'm out there dating. And I think it also helped me have more realistic expectations of other people. And to kind of just step back into the flow. And I had to do that with Rick because one of the things I've learned is I had always been in long distance relationships the last 15 years because I liked that buffer. I didn't have to navigate space, time. It was done for me. And I was sitting in, now I'm in a relationship where I've got to navigate that space. And I don't know what's healthy, what's not healthy, what's realistic, what's not realistic. And just being on the calls and just listening to you talk about, men and how they are. And I think it's just realistic expectations of them,
Mm-hmm.
which I didn't necessarily have, and I didn't have to navigate because I had a buffer. I had 250 miles between me and them. So I only had to navigate them on, certain amount of time. So
Intermittently.
yeah. And I didn't know what was normal. I really, truly didn't. And that was a big eye opener for me. I have no idea what is normal.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so that has helped so much too, is just listening to you talk about the difference between men and women, and just a reminder that they are not women. They're not shut down women. they think and they act and they process completely differently than we do. And that's okay.
Really, really, really tell when someone's ready. You just know, and you are. I think you're
Yeah.
so there, and you get it. Like, you can see you weren't ready to have the kind of relationship that you wanted. You just weren't psychologically at that point yet, but you are, and I think you did it.
Yeah, I think I did. I think I got the person that, and what I love about Rick is I can tell he likes growth. He's into, he has an idea of what went wrong with his marriage and what he would like to have down the road, and I love that.